Hi, I'm Sean Reardon, Mayor of Newburyport, and welcome to the latest edition of the Mayor's Corner. It is still incredibly hot here in the city, all right? So we are in the middle of a heat wave, so I hope you're all taking care of yourselves out there and trying to stay as cool as possible. But we have a lot of things coming up here in the next couple weeks, so it's nice that we're getting some great weather, particularly after last July when we didn't have a lot of great weather, so it's nice we've had a really hot month, but it is certainly hot up there, and I know it's hot in here in City Hall too. So let's get right to it. So again, if you are, struggling with the heat out there, remember we have the library. That's a good spot to go in and get cool. We have the senior center open during the week. That's a good place to go. And just keep an eye on the city website, and we'll push it out through social media. But we're trying to work on some other cooling options for citizens, especially who don't have access to AC. So keep an eye on that. We're going to send out some more information. But again, it's nice we have the library and the senior center for the rest of the week here. We actually got some really great news here in City Hall this week. All right. So a lot of people know, and you can, my big project board over on my left shoulder here. We have projects that that we're really prioritizing in year one. Newburyport Youth Services getting a new home is on the top of that list, and we're working through that process. The second project on that list is the bulkhead. And I don't know if I've talked about the bulkhead project a lot in the last couple of weeks, but I can certainly tell you that in the past 6 months, this project has raised, to the top of my list. Okay, it is a critical project, and we got some great news around funding this week. So let's just recap a little bit. So the bulkhead project is literally like what holds up our waterfront, right? It's not the boardwalk itself, but it's what the boardwalk is attached to. Okay, so this is a major project that's been in the works, and it just hasn't got the attention over the years that it really should have received. So now we're in a good spot to move this forward. So first, we got a congressional earmark through Congressman Moulton's office for $2.25 million, right? We announced that earlier this year. So again, thank you, Congressman Moulton. He's going to be in the city here soon to kind of celebrate that award. So I'll keep you up to date when Congressman Moulton's in town. Just yesterday, we got word that we did receive the EDA grant, and that was a major grant that we applied for. That's the Economic Development Administration grant. And we got a $1.8 million award for that grant, which was just incredible news. And there was so much hard work by our planning office, by our grants office, and also the mayor's office that went into putting all those numbers and filling out that application. And we also worked with the Merrimack Valley Planning Commission. So it was really a team effort getting all that paperwork in and getting this grant awarded. So we got that news yesterday, which is great. Now the whole project itself is going to be somewhere under $6 million, we hope. As you know, costs are rising right now. So we're probably going to have to get an update about what the estimated costs will be when we bring that out to bid. But that was our target. It was just under $6 million. So then next week, it looks like we're in great shape to get the Seacoast Economic Council grant. And that's more of a state grant. That's going to be awarded down in Chatham. And we're going to have some people from the city go down there and present our project. But it looks like we are in great shape to get that for $1.3 million. So if you're doing adding up all the numbers at home, that puts us around $5.35 million, which is right around the ballpark of where we thought that project was going to be. Now we've also held back some ARPA money just in case we needed some of that to make up the rest. But long story short, I think we are in a great position to get this project done this fall and have that go out to bid here in the next couple, hopefully in the next month. So again, great news. I'll keep you posted as things come up, but just really solid news around that project, and I'm excited to get that bulkhead done this year and year one of my administration, which is pretty great. Another thing happened this week that was a little bit concerning. Some of you might have saw me on the news. NBC came up and taped me yesterday talking about the CSOs, right? And everyone was talking about CSOs. And this was a topic that was talked about a lot during the campaign, but not so much day to day. So I thought I'd just talk a little bit about that and what it means. And currently right now we have you'll be watching this on Thursday, so hopefully this will be all rectified by then. But when we're talking about CSOs, we're talking about combined sewage overflows, right? And so what happens is, communities upstream, and we're talking about the larger communities like Lowell, Lawrence, and Haverhill, they have really old sewer systems, like really antiquated sewer systems. Now here in Newburyport, we are very lucky. We have a beautiful brand new wastewater treatment plant that we got done a few years back. So we kind of solved our CSO problem. We're not dumping any CSOs into the river. But what happens with these old systems is anytime we have a hard rain and the sewers back up really quickly, it launches all this waste, chemical waste, human waste into the river, which is about as disgusting as you can get, right? And so, unfortunately, Newburyport, even though we're not contributing to the problem, we're at the end of the river here, so we're bearing the brunt of it, right, along with some of our other coastal towns like Amesbury. So what can we do? On the short term, again, this has been happening for many years, right? So at least now we get warned, right? So they've installed a system where we know what gets released and how much gets released, right? And so we know it's coming. And just other things that you should know. We test our water here. We test the river water here and at the beaches on a weekly basis, all right? Wednesday is kind of our test day. And then when there's any kind of incident like this, we do extra testing, okay? So Tuesday night around 12:30 a.m., we were notified that Lowell, Lawrence, and Haverhill, released CSOs into the river. We in turn test the water, then we can turn that around pretty quickly, and we realized that bacteria levels were escalated, right? So immediately we've kind of shut down access to the water, right? So that means we're recommending you don't boat right now. We're recommending you don't fish. We definitely don't recommend you swim in the water right now. So in all our access points, we have signs up, and that's why the news came up to talk to us about it, what we were doing. I think you probably saw it all over social media and our website. So right now, the protocol is 48 hours, all right, and that should wash out of the system, okay, but we're still going to test. So 48 hours for us will be early Thursday morning. But I would say, let's stay out of the river. Let's make sure you hear from the city first, and we'll take down the signs once we have the all clear. But again, it's just something to be aware of, this CSO problem. And again, there's not much we can do about it because we're kind of the little guy at the end of the river here, right? But what we can do is we can really encourage our state and federal legislators to help these larger communities out, because these are massive infrastructure projects around their sewage systems. And we're hoping a lot of this money that's still available in the infrastructure bill can trickle down to these communities for some of these bigger projects, okay? But a lot of this money is still tied up right now. So again, we're going to keep working our federal and state legislators, and we're going to try to get as much money to these communities as we can, because not only can we help solve their problem, but it's going to help us downriver here as well. So that's CSOs in a nutshell. But if you have any more questions, please come to my office hours. I have open office hours next week on Thursday and Friday. Come talk to me about them, and if you have any great ideas about how we can keep our river clean, I'd love to hear it. Okay, what else is going on? So this weekend is Riverfest, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But next weekend is Yankee Homecoming. And Yankee Homecoming is one of my favorite weeks of the year, all right? I've loved Yankee Homecoming ever since I was a little kid. But I saw in the paper today, they're still looking for volunteers, okay? So Yankee Homecoming starts on July 30th and goes all the way till August 7th. So if you're around that week and you want to donate your time to some of the great activities that are happening every single day in our city, go to yankeehomecoming.com and look for some volunteer opportunities. They're still looking for people. It's a fabulous week. A lot of things geared towards adults, geared to kids. We have music every night on the waterfront. But if you're looking for a place to volunteer, they would love to have you. It's a great group. All right, so look for that. This is my first time as mayor of Yankee Homecoming too, so I'm pretty excited about that. So next week's Mayor's Corner will be very heavy on Yankee Homecoming, so I'm just going to warn you right now. I'm not going to talk about events right now, but next week we'll be talking about a lot of my favorite events during Yankee Homecoming. So let's talk a little bit about Riverfest. And I call it Riverfest, but actually the 92.5 calls it Newburyport's Riverfront Music Festival. I've always called it Riverfest, so I don't know where the name change came, but it's Newburyport's Riverfront Music Festival. And that's happening this weekend, so Saturday. It looks like the weather's going to be great. It's going to be another hot day. And again, this is the first time Riverfest has come back to Newburyport in a couple years, right? After a brief stint in Gloucester, 92.5, The River, came into City Hall, asked if they could bring it back. They think Newburyport is the preferred venue. We got a perfect spot here on the waterfront and on the river, Riverfest on the river, right? And then so what we did, I brought together all my department heads, all the people who would be involved in this day, and we talked about it, worked out a great plan, and we decided to grant them the opportunity to come back. They partnered with the Newburyport Chamber too, which was great to see. So we're in line to have a really good day. So just some heads ups, all right, on Saturday, because there's going to be a lot of people coming into Newburyport. I don't think it's going to be quite as big as, let's say, when Bare Naked Ladies was here a few years ago, but we are still expecting a good crowd here in Newburyport, particularly since it's going to be such a nice day. So traffic's going to be a little tough, all right? It's the summer, it's tourist season, so just know that, you know. I would say particularly Merrimack Street's going to be tough. We're going to limit getting into downtown. So again, if you go down Green Street and get to Merrimack, you're not going to be able to take a right to go downtown on Saturday after, I think it's 11 o'clock. You know, it starts at 12. So just keep that in mind. We're going to have signs around the city as far as traffic flow. I know a few years ago this actually worked out pretty well, so we're kind of following a similar plan. Another thing to realize too is that parking is probably going to be difficult, right? So we're going to have event parking around the city. We have the parking garage, which I'm going to assume is going to fill up pretty quickly, and then we have the city lots. We're going to have satellite parking with free shuttles, okay, around the city. So just so you know where those are. Okay, we're talking about the Merson parking lot. You know, if you grew up here, the old Gould parking lot on Merrimack Street. So Merson parking lot, the Graff Rink parking lot, the middle school parking lot, Mark Ritchie Woodworking parking lot, where Riverwalk Brewing is, and then the MBTA parking lot. So in all those parking lots, they're going to have 2 shuttle buses running. So every 20 minutes, they should be circling through there and bringing you downtown to the entertainment, okay? And I'll just tell you what the lineup is real quick, okay? 12:15 start, okay? It's gonna be a beautiful day. Free Volt, Newburyport's own Michael Bernia's group Free Volt is starting. Enjoy your life, as Michael likes to say, okay? They're gonna kick it off, and I know they're gonna do a great job. I can't wait to see them on the main stage. And after that, from 1:30 to 2:30, we're gonna have the Chad Hollister Band. From 3 to 4, we're going to have the Adam Ezra Group, which is probably more my generation. I remember the Adam Ezra Group. And then finally, Brett Dennen is going to be the headliner from 4:30 to 6. I still have not checked out Brett Dennen. I hear he is incredible, but I am going to do that this week, and I am going to be ready to hear Brett this weekend on the waterfront. But it should be a great day. So if you have any questions leading up, please reach out to City Hall. Like I said, we'll be here Thursday or Friday once you're able to see this, and we're happy to answer any questions. But again, a big shout out to particularly our public safety department heads and our DPS, everyone that's come together. Our parking, again, parking is such a big part of this day. We all came together. We have Cataldo ambulance that will also be on hand. So again, it's a team effort, and so we're excited for this day, and I hope everyone enjoys it. Get out there, enjoy it. It's going to kick off. We're going to have Riverfest this weekend, Yankee Homecoming next weekend. It's going to be great. So again, I hope you come out and enjoy it. Have a great week. Please stay cool, stay safe out there, and I will see you next week for our special Yankee Homecoming edition of the Mayor's Corner. Take care.